All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Shemi Hawashai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word of sincerity and truth from the four corners of the earth. All right, and just right quick, we all seen the Breonna Taylor verdict. All right, and it's all just prophecy, man. All right, everybody flipping out. All right, of course not the believers. All right, but everybody, flipping out. Niggas in the street rioting. All right, but I'm gonna start in Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. All right, now you gotta realize we are a possession or in the possession of these Edomites. All right, these so-called white people. All right, we in their possession. All right, and of course they're gonna hold themselves not guilty. Why? Because they're running the law. All right, so just like George Floyd, who's the dude, Darren Chauvin, he gonna get free. He gonna be not guilty. All right, this is a reoccurring issue here in America. Why? Because the Israelites are being oppressed in America. All right, whose possessors slay them, and slay means to kill, and hold themselves not guilty. Right? This is just privacy. How many times you guys see a nigga killed and the police get off before you try to find the source and realize what's really happening? And the source and what's really happening is this is the prophecy of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right. I mean, come on, man. They gave Breonna Taylor, her family, $12 million of them things, man. $12 million. That was just the hush money. Cause I guarantee the family ain't gonna say shit. They got paid. That was the hush money. That was the play right there. Who really thought that they was gonna get convicted? They showed you the play. We're gonna get them $12 million and everybody, y'all gonna trip, but they gonna be quiet. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. The police never gonna be guilty in America. You gotta realize the police is a government agency, if you will. The government not gonna convict itself. Just like when you look at internal affairs in the police department, that ain't nothing but other cops investigating other cops, or cops investigating other cops. They're never gonna find themselves guilty, bro. But dumbass niggas that believe in America and American justice is gonna be out there outraged, man. Say nothing but prophecy, man. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. And that's the mind state of not necessarily the Edomite cop walking the beat. How they say, bopping the beat. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, on their patrol, But the powers that be, these Edomites in high positions, they know. And that's how they feel. Their own shepherds pity them not. Because they feel like ain't going to be no consequence for killing the Israelites. That's how they feel. There's no consequence for killing Israelites. They just a bunch of niggas. They just a bunch of Latinos. They just a bunch of Native Americans. We've been fucking them up for hundreds and hundreds of years. So they're never going to find themselves guilty in their own court system for killing an Israelite, man. Come on now. But for the unlearned, for the unwise, for the unaware, this is a tragedy. This ain't no tragedy. This is prophecy, man. It's war. You're going to have casualties of war. All right? But the Most High eventually is going to let Jake loose on you. And you seeing it in the street to a small degree. Because what you see in the street right now, cops getting, like, I'm going to get into an article as this video proceeds, but it's small shit. Couple Edomites get shot. Couple Edomites get their neck wrangled. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a small shit compared when the Most High really say, okay, I'm going to let them loose on what Jake is about to be out here doing. When I say Jake, I mean you Negro, Latino, Native, Seminole, Indian. You Israelites. All right? And they say that their own shepherds pity them not. All right? But Most High always got not a trick up his sleeve, but prophecy up his sleeve. All right. Zechariah 2:8, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory have he sent me into the nations which spoiled you. What nation spoiled the Israelites? Well, really every nation upon the face of the earth. But if we're talking about current times, we're talking about you Edomites, the nations that have spoiled you. Spoiled the Israelites. The Negro, Latino, Native, Seminole, Indian, spoiled the Israelites, man. You killed the Israelites. You done mangled the Israelites, lynched the Israelites, committed all type of atrocities against the Israelites, man. All type of manners of death against the Israelites. All right. It says, for he that toucheth you touches the apple of his eye. See, that's, just because the Most High has been sitting quiet, not quiet as in the form of he's not Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah is not letting prophecy roll, but quiet in the sense that he hadn't touched you yet, Edom, and all you other nations, but chiefly Edom. Just because he haven't touched you yet don't mean he's not going to touch you. All right. For he that toucheth you touches the apple of his eye. You touching the Israelites. The Negro, Latino, Native, Seminole, Indian, whether it be a elect member, whether it be a 2/3. Even though the 2/3 are bound to be destroyed here in America, they still the children of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, children of Israel. You still got to pay for that. So their own shepherds, pity them not, may be the thoughts in your head, but Zechariah 2:8. He that touches you touches the apple of the Most High's eye. You got to realize we the children of Israel. This whole world is about us. Everything is about us. If we weren't on this earth, it wouldn't exist. And that's why you envy us. That's why you hate us so much. But the Most High gonna get with you, It's gonna be many more police killing Jake. You know what I'm saying? This ain't, not to belittle it, but it's a reoccurring thing in America. All right, but let me get into this article right quick. Let it load. My phone should load as hell. All right, so it says 2 officers shot in Louisville amid protests over Breonna Taylor charges. 1 suspect in custody. It says two Louisville police officers have been shot amid chaotic protests over the lack of murder charges linked to the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor. 1 suspect has been taken into custody. The officers are expected to survive, unfortunately. It says as groups of protesters squared off with police around Louisville on Wednesday night, multiple shots went on. 2 officers were shot. Louisville Metro Police Department Chief Robert Schroeder has confirmed, noting that their injuries appear to be non-life-threatening, unfortunately. Police received calls about shots fired near a local college around 8:30, the chief said, adding that as they were deploying to investigate what was going on, shots rang out and 2 of our officers were shot. It says 1 of the wounded officers is alert and stable, while the other is in surgery, but is also expected to survive. 1 suspect has been brought into custody, Schroeder added, though declined to identify the individual. Now you see they trying to, write this article in a sense of sympathy for the officers, but the Most High is rousing Jake up, right? And this is, it ain't even to the maximum effect. And once again, when I say Jake, I'm talking about you Negro, Latino, Native, Seminole, Indian, you Israelites. You're getting roused up in the street because Israel, the Most High put the spirit on Israel to be tired of this shit, to really want to fight now. And now it's a problem because Jake fighting back, man. All right. 1 of the officers was reportedly struck in the abdomen below his bulletproof vest, while the other was shot in the thigh, according to a reporter with Louisville Fox affiliate Jason Riley, who cited anonymous sources. Videos that circulated on social media captured the sound of the gunfire as well as the officers on the other end, who could be heard saying "officer down" over their radios as they rushed for cover. Let me see if this is going to play. showing nothing. Local media also shared footage showing an officer as he was loaded into an ambulance surrounded by a sizable group of riot police.
Come from everywhere else. Yeah, they come. Oh, it's shot guns at him. Oh, shit. Shit, they shooting guns at him, real guns. Shit. They blasting at the police.
Yeah, Jake out there shooting at the police, man. All right. It says a reporter on the scene claimed the shots were fired directly at the officers rather than into the air, though he did not specify whether the shooter was affiliated with the ongoing protests. The local FBI office said it was deployed. It had deployed a SWAT team to respond to the shooting, and that it would assist the police investigation, but also offered no other details about the officer or his condition. As news of the shooting made the rounds, the acting head of the Department of Homeland Security, Chad Wolf, denounced the violence against law enforcement. Why would you denounce the violence against law enforcement when it's been violence against the Israelites? See, that's why. That show you that they don't give a fuck about the Israelites, man. Y'all been banging niggas in the head, all these years, and now since a couple cops is getting shot and getting mangled, the Department of Homeland Security has something to say. It says, saying it is never acceptable in a civil society. America has never been a civil society. And that he is now praying for the well-being of the injured officers. Not the Jakes that got killed, the Israelites that got murdered and gunned down in the street. He ain't praying for that. He's praying for the officers, man. All right. It says arson, smashed windows, and ransacks cafes as anger spills into the streets. The protests in Louisville erupted earlier on Wednesday after the officers involved in the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor were not charged for her death. They, whose possessors slayed them and hold themselves not guilty, with only one officer facing charges for wanton endangerment linked to his indiscriminate firing into apartments adjacent to Taylor's home. Not even murdering her, just the other homes. The 26-year-old medical technician was killed during a March police raid as plainclothes narcotics officers attempted to serve a search warrant at her apartment. While the officers involved in the incident were fired, the lack of charges over Taylor's death has stoked outrage around the country, promoting crowds and protesters to descend on Louisville. On Wednesday afternoon, they were seen preparing for clashes with police, with footage showing activists distributing shields and other gear from the back of U-Haul trucks. They ready. And this is Israelites, you know what I'm saying? You might have a couple Edomites sprinkled out of there, but this is Israelites getting ready. You know what I'm saying? They ready to get it in. Not we, all right? Ahead of the city's 9 p.m. curfew, demonstrators were filmed as they set fires and smashed windows around Jefferson Square Park and elsewhere in downtown Louisville. So we at the end. America is finished. This fire is a precursor to the real fire. All right, if you know, you know. All right, lots of windows are being smashed throughout this march. Right before the crowd left Jefferson Square, a loudspeaker announcement reminded everyone that it's been declared an unlawful assembly. Jay don't give a fuck about damn, you dealing with the Israelites. Unlawful. Where that shit at? Slack, unlawful assembly. The Israelite, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they don't even follow the Most High laws. You think you ain't gonna follow your shit? Goofy. Police responded to the disturbance around the park just before the curfew went into effect. A large group of officers clad in riot gear marched into the area where they fired concussion grenades and tear gas to clear out the protesters. There's more footage. Protest shit. Jake ain't wildin' yet. How we gonna be wildin' on y'all? Alright. Several dozen, this Shaquille Lloyd tweet. Several dozen LMPD officers responded to Jefferson Square to clear out the area. To clear the area out. They fired flash bombs as a way to have the crowd leave. It was deemed an unlawful assembly. Come on, man. You dealing with the Israelites. Salakia, my phone tripping. It says, while the unrest has died down in some areas, protests continue sporadically in the city, where some 500 National Guard troops have been activated. And as somebody who's been, in the service, and this ain't nothing to glorify, but National Guard is a bunch of hoes. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dog. They weekend warriors. They not gonna do nothing. They regular citizens that get called every once in a while. So, Jacob, the 2/3, and even the Israelite, the elect, who gonna get the spiritual power, they gonna bomb on the National Guard. Come on, man. Anybody who's ever been in the service know what I'm talking about, man. National Guard get no respect. Ain't nobody. All right, the soldiers were seen deployed, and they're not soldiers, but the soldiers were seen deployed in various locations, including around the hospital where the injured officers are believed to have been taken for treatment. All right, police and National Guard are out protecting the hospital where the 2 officers were shot and being treated. All right, and you see. Jake is rising up, man. All right, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. This is all just prophecy, man. But this is the things that the Most High is doing to make Jake rouse up, man. All right. So, I ain't gonna hold you. I hope that video was edifying. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.